Hey everyone, this is Dingo Ibuki, and today I want to be showing you my 2DX controller, homemade, and how it works. So, why did I want to make my own homemade controller when there's a DAO, there's a USKOC, and a JKOC. I have two USKOCs, by the way. Well, I primarily play on PC, on LR2 and those other games, so playing with a PlayStation 2 to USB adapter isn't really that great, especially the ones that I have. They don't even work correctly sometimes. So I decided I wanted something better than a USKOC that I can use to play on PC, and it wouldn't cost $260 as a DAO would, because I didn't have $260 at the time, but I really wanted to have similar to arcade buttons, and I wanted that distance between the keys and the turntable. And so, yeah, I set out to make my own 2DX controller, and, it doesn't look professional at all, but it works well. In fact, I've passed a couple 11s on this, and 2 weeks ago I passed 9 dons, so that was pretty cool. It's pretty heavy, but that's a good thing because it doesn't really move around when you're playing, in comparison to my USKOC, which would sometimes. So, if you look at the turntable, we have an actual mouse, and the scroll wheel is being moved whenever you turn the turntable, which is actually just a couple CDs stacked on top of each other and taped together. So it looks pretty tacky, I know, but it actually works pretty well. And I have a AA battery and some cardboard hot glued, so it doesn't move out of place. So that's how the turntable works. So here we have the buttons. As for the buttons, they're just some generic Chinese ones. The springs are 20-gram Sanwas, and the switches I have are 50-gram, and they're not Omrons, they're a different brand. I can link them in the description, probably. So yeah, and as for the PCB that I'm using, it's some Chinese PCB that I can link in the description too. So yeah, let's look at the cables. My controller uses two USB cables. One is for the actual buttons, and power is actually drawn from USB to power the buttons. And so that's a power source for the buttons LEDs. And we have the mouse here that uses its own USB cable. So you plug both of them in, and that's how it works. So as you can see, all the buttons light up, including these. And the good thing about my controller is that it has a start button, a VFX button, and an effect button. And this is important because newer games also have the effect and VFX buttons, and you actually use them from time to time. And I think DAO controllers only have 2 of these buttons, but mine have 3. Has 3, so that's good. And so, when I'm playing those newer games, in the configuration app, I can actually set the scroll wheel as a turntable, so it actually works pretty well. However, for LR2, I use a script I created on AutoHotkey, and what it basically does is convert the turning of the turntable into keystrokes, because LR2 doesn't natively support like the scroll wheel being used as a turntable in game. So that's how my controller works. I can demonstrate these auto hotkey scripts. I opened auto hotkey, and so let's open like Notepad. So yeah, I'm just gonna move the turntable around. As you can see, it's spamming letters, and that means that the script is working. So that's basically how my controller works. Let me get my USKOC for scale. It's bigger, it's bulkier, and it's heavier, but I don't really care. I spent about $90 in total for this controller, for building it and everything, but I could have probably spent maybe 75 or 80 on it, but that was my first time even attempting this. And this controller is actually pretty sturdy. I've used it for a couple months. It's still working well. So if you have any questions, or if you need help with like trying to create your own controller, feel free to leave a comment or whatever. I would be glad to help, and I would definitely recommend attempting to create your controller, because $80 compared to $260, and I'm not even sure if that's including shipping. Shipping from Japan for an arcade style controller must be like expensive, maybe $40 or more. So yeah, it definitely saves money when you make your own homemade controller. But yeah, I was just showing you my how it works. So thanks for watching.